Alright, this is a weekly reading for Virgo. I did get a channeled message before the reading, which is someone will betray you for some reason or another. It could be very small betrayal, could be a white lie, could be just, you know, just something that's, just out of the ordinary, but it's like a mini dupe or it's misinformation. So just be aware of that. There's a little bit of that going around anyway. So people try to one up each other all the time. Anyway, let's start off with the first card, which is You Right Now, which will be the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is too slow to act, work without reward, is a wet blanket, having no fun, obsessiveness, waits too long, works too hard, laziness, all work and no play. So you could be very active at work, but very lazy at home. That's kind of what that means. And then we have number 2 with the week's theme, which is going to be the 7 of Cups in reverse. So bad choice, lack of purpose, having options you do not want, diversion, experiencing confusion, fearing you're going to choose wrongly, confusion. So there's something here that you're going to have to choose from, which there's a lot of choices in the world, but you're going to choose probably the one that's not going to fit your lifestyle or not fit for like financial purposes. And if you're going through financial trouble, you kind of know what I mean by that. So it's a big decision. So let's see. The challenge of the week is going to be the Devil in reverse. So there's violence, there's abuse, there's freedom, there's psychological torture, cruel intentions, release, destined for nothing positive, restoring control, addiction problems. So there's going to be kind of falling into an addiction. It could be drugs, it could be sex, it could be being a workaholic. I think for some people it's being a workaholic. But whatever the case is, it's going to be hard to break out of that thing right now also. So if you kind of don't want to like constantly be working and the stuff at home isn't really good, then you kind of keep being a workaholic so that you're exhausted. You don't have to deal with situations, or you don't have to really deal with certain types of people in your life. You kind of wear yourself out by being like, oh, I'm so exhausted, blah blah blah, I can't talk to you right now, blah blah blah. And they can think what they want to. The whole point of being exhausted in a relationship is so that the person that you're with kind of takes the hint and leaves. But usually some people don't. Some people are just, they want to be with you for the sake of being with you because they don't want to be alone. So there might be something you have to do probably down the road to free yourself up. Kind of have to be more direct. Some people can't take a hint. But anyway, number 4, we have lesson to remember, so something from the past. We have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. So traditional values which hold you back, fleeting success, a family which has a negative influence on you, lack of stability, restrictive culture, lack of resources. So there's you might have like a religion where you had to get married, or it's an arranged marriage or something, or you kind of had to get married to somebody in your culture frame. It's very compressing, but it happens a lot in the world. So it could be that your future spouse is kind of not your type at all. It's kind of like you're trying to put a fish into a vacuum cleaner. It's not going to survive for too long. I feel like there might be a divorce soon, or there might kind of be some estrangement. Anyway, so number 5, there's the lesson that you will learn this week, which is going to be the 7 of Swords in reverse. 7 of Swords in reverse is someone will betray you. You're dishonest with others. You're rethinking your approach. You're dishonest with yourself. Coming clean, deception, unfairness with somebody else. So you're going to have to kind of tell people like it is, get some of that earthly wisdom. I feel like some people might be like young souls. It's like they don't want to be like the mature one and like tell people, I kind of want a divorce, or I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. And being direct with people never goes right, because you see like their immaturity level. And believe you me, some people are like the 8-year-old tantrum. The 8-year-old tantrum is when they tell you the truth about how they feel, but then they still throw stuff and break stuff. It's the 8-year-old type of thing. I know I have a nephew, so I know all about that. But anyway, so number 6 is gonna be the gift you give yourself this week. Hopefully it's peace of mind. Anyway, Death card in reverse. So the Death card in reverse is divorce and breakups, periods of depression, fear of change, unwelcome changes, holding on, death of a relative or a loved one, inevitable ends, stagnation, and decay. So there's a point where you're just gonna feel bad for yourself because you don't have anybody in your life. But I can tell you this, I've been single for about 4-5 years, and I've never been happier. I can do what I want to do. I can, look at what I want and not really feel ridiculed or judged in a relationship. So, it's one of those type of things. But, yeah, you have to kind of be alright with yourself in order to be in a relationship anyway. So, I feel like it's a growing technique. It might not be like what you want to do right now, but you kind of get into like, what do I want to do today? If it's watch TV until you fall asleep, then do that. If you want to eat certain foods, or you kind of want to have a cheat day, do that. But whatever you do, you have to do it for the betterment and the happiness of yourself. You're trying to make yourself happy. You're not trying to change who you are as a person. You're trying to find a calming effect in your own presence, okay? Which is hard for a lot of people in a relationship, out of a relationship, in and around certain bases of a relationship, or potential relationships. With me, I could care less. If you don't like me then, you didn't like me now. You didn't like me in the relationship, you didn't like me out of a relationship. I'm doing like a Dr. Seuss prelude into the dating world. But yeah, it has to do with your own center. If you don't like being with somebody, you don't like being single, you don't like doing this, you don't like doing that, you have to find peace somewhere along the line where if they leave you, you're fine. If they're with you, you're fine. It's kind of like you don't care, but it's happening, I forgot what it was. It was for a like Tinder dating app or whatever, and it had Andreas and Hannibal on there, and they were playing with each other's phones to select like people from Tinder to date or whatever to match with. And yeah, they just didn't care. They were saying a lot of different things, but it was like that type of app kind of thing. And I feel like you might need to be more aloof. I think you take your dating stuff a little serious. You kind of had to find out who you are as a person, and then be like, oh, I want this type of person because that's who I am, and we'd get along. Not like, oh, they're hot and whatever. Maybe that's like a extra gravy onto the dating scene. But you do have to find out who you are as a person and like your insecurity level. But yeah, if you're dating somebody hot and you think that you yourself are ugly, then you kind of fall back into your insecurity 10 times worse, you know. You kind of have to find an equal, you know, medium. Because people that date hot people, they lose their minds. They're like, oh, are they talking to somebody else when they're at work? Or are they dating somebody else? Are they cheating on me? This, that. You know, you don't want that chaos either. So you kind of have to find out who you are as a person. And don't be dating people that are, like, hot. That's a problem. When somebody's hot, they're constantly going to be, like, making your mind work overtime and thinking of different scenarios that happened today in their life, and maybe they were just sleeping the whole day and then you lose your mind. But anyway, I've been there, done that. I'm not doing that again. I just need somebody who's, like, just laid back and just, like, you know, can do the Hobbit thing with me, like, just go on adventures and then go home and, like, have some fucking malt tea, you know, that type of stuff. And if you're the same type of person, then, you know, you have to do that. Have to be keen on the Shire, you know what I mean. But anyway, if you don't watch Lord of the Rings, you don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's yeah. You have to be able to be nerdy together, and you have to be able to be alright with each other too. Where you kind of know where each other stands, you know, in a relationship. Don't leave your life on autopilot. It doesn't work that way. Okay? Better off being in somewhat control, somewhat awareness about what you want out of a relationship, or what the other person wants out of a relationship, so it's more structured. If you're the type of person that likes to be a people pleaser, do some people pleasing stuff that might help your partner, you know, kind of stay together, you know. Or if you're the type of person that likes to give gifts, you know, do that, but do it in a way that it's stuff that the person that you're dating needs or something. Like, they mention something like, oh, they need this or they need that, or they're working on a project or something. And it just helps, you know, translate into, I care about you and I'm giving you this, so then you don't have to worry about it anymore, type of thing. But that's how I think in relationships. Like, if somebody mentions something to me, it's kind of like, alright, they might need that. I'm going to go see if I can get that because they're at work now. I don't think they'll have time to get it for their project tomorrow. So, you know, saves time, saves aggravation. Anyway, so hopefully this helps you out in some way, shape, or form, Virgo, and it kind of gives you guidance. But at the moment, I think you have to do some self-care things. You need to eat what you like eating, kind of get into your comfort zone, get into the zone of trying to, you know, figure out what you want, try to manifest it, and try to get to the point where you are alright with what's going on and who you are as a person. Because very few people are. Okay? Anyway, I will see you in the next reading, and hopefully everything goes alright. And it's alright to be alone. You might not meet too many people, but it's alright to be alone. You know? Anyway, later.